Hi there, it's Kevin with Roguedeckbuilder.com, here with a fun little video. I just did an 8-4 draft and went 3-0, 6-0, didn't lose a game, with this hilarious deck that actually built itself. In fact, I didn't even start going this strategy. I was going for a Act of Treason, Barrage of Expendables combination, because I absolutely love that combination. And first pick, first pack, I took an Act of Treason, and I actually took it over a Young Pyromancer. So a lot of people might like, what? Why would you ever take that? But that's how much I love this card, this Act of Treason, because there's no way, if you get like 2 or 3 Act of Treasons, there's absolutely no way in the format that your opponent can cut you out of sack engines. There are so many sack engines between Trading Post, Bubbling Cauldron, Altar's Reap. There's 2 black creatures that sack, 3 black creatures that I know of that sack creatures. If you're in black, you have Altar's Reaps are one of those that table a lot, so you can count on getting Altar's Reaps, and you can pick them late for your Act of Treason combo. It becomes a 5 mana, draw 2 cards off of a creature that you steal for those 2 cards. Really, really cool. And then, and red has a sack out with Barrage of Expendables, like I said, Trading Post and Bubbling Cauldron. There's just a number of ways, and you're always going to get a couple sack outlets when you go the Act of Treason strategy. The only problem is when you first picked an Act of Treason, sometimes you never see another one. A lot of people are catching on to the strategy. I play a lot of 8-4s, and I always go the strategy, so I do pretty well with them too. The only time I really lose, and I don't want to sound cocky because this is, I do make some bad play mistakes and whatnot, but most of the times when I lose this strategy, it's due to just getting completely mana screwed. And yeah, so I like to go 2 different strategies, and I've actually done the same strategy, both strategies in the same deck before by going 4 color, and it's very easy with Darksteel Ignites here and Shimmering Grottos. Very, very easy to actually splash either red or splash white for the Angelic Accords, or splash green for the fixing. Usually when I go that, I go Verdant Catacombs and Brindle Boars as another way to activate the either Sanguine Bond or the Angelic Accords. So I can't pull these up because this is just a screenshot. I don't have the deck actually. This is post the after I just won the match. Anyway, this is what I ended up with, and I played a 41-16 cards for the curve. That curved out perfectly at 5. Usually with 5 casting, I like to have either 16-41 or 17-41. I don't know. It's just my own little thing. I'm not a math nerd, so I don't know if that's actually what it works out. I just didn't want to cut. I couldn't cut a card here. I wanted everything here. Funny thing is, these Soul Menders were forced every pack. Every pack I got a forced Soul Mender, which is hilarious. But like I said, pack 1, it went like this. My first pick was an Act of Treason. Second pick was, I think, it was Tenacious Dead. And third pick, I believe, was the Sanguine Bond. No, it was a Festering Newt, then a Sanguine Bond. Okay, no, never mind. Let's back up here. My first pick was a Doomblade that I picked, because there's nothing in the pack. It was god-awful cards. I think it was the Sliver. When you attack, it does 1 damage. Each Sliver does 1 damage when they attack. It's a little Hellrider trigger on the Sliver. But I didn't want that dude. So Sliver strategy is horrible. Sometimes you can get it to work, but a lot of times you want 3 colors, and it's too clunky. So I took a Doomblade, and then second pack I took an Act of Treason over a Young Pyromancer. And then third pack, I do believe, is a Barrage of Expendables. Fourth pack, it was a Tenacious Dead, and fifth pack was a Sanguine Bond. So it was starting to come together in that order. And then I got a Bubbling Cauldron in that first pack, and I'm all excited. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be amazing. And then I ended up taking like a Striking Sliver, and I believe like a Festering Newt or whatnot in that first pack. So I'm like, yeah, and some Quag Sicknesses, things like that. I'm like, this deck is gonna be awesome. And then I saw no more red cards from then on out. But I'm like, oh, I can just splash it. So in second pack, I was taking cards like Shimmering Grottos and Darksteel Ignites. I also had this Into the Wilds. So I'm like, oh, if I get some Verdant Havens with the Sanguine Bond, that's not bad. You draw them late, it does 2 damage. Not bad, and it fixes. And you can get some early fixing with Lay of the Land. And then Into the Wilds is just a strong card in draft. So I think I took it pretty high up on second pack. But anyway, second pack, I proceeded to get late game pass cards like Angelic Accord and Celestial Flares. So I knew it was wide open. I get these Bubbling Cauldrons, the Elixir Immortalities, and I get a Trading Post. I get to grab a Trading Post, which I believe was a second pick, or maybe I first picked this second pack. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to go with my Barrage Expendables Act of Treason. But look at this deck. 2 Festering Newts, a Tenacious Dead. In my opinion, Tenacious Dead's the best card in M14, hands down. the best card. Well, besides bombs, it's like the most solid card to pick because there's so many strategies with it. A Doomblade, 2 Quack Sicknesses with all these swamps was awesome. A Corrupt, you know, 2 Celestial Flares. So I've got plenty of removal. We've got this Pseudo Removal and Festering Newt. We've got a Doomblade, which is a hard removal. Quack Sicknesses, which are hard removals. Corrupt, which is a hard removal. And 2 Celestial Flares, which is a hard removal. So then we got the Angelic Walls to stall. We got a Congregate to stall, plus have almost a kill condition with Sanguine Bond. And only the one end of Angelic Accord, but we have the Diabolic Tutor, which basically means we have 2 Angelic Accords, 2 Sanguine Bonds, 2 Trading Posts in our deck I mean, not quite that, but we have 2 ways to get them. So basically the combination, you can, a lot of the times what I won, you'll see him in the matchups is Trading Posts, getting me crazy card advantage plus life to try to find my combination and then proceed to win that way. So without further ado, oh, the sideboard is kind of cool too. Look at this. I got a Solemn Offering, which is awesome, a Shrivel, which is really good, and I didn't even play cards like Undead Minotaur, and if I wanted to even go more stall, I could go pay no heed. But anyway, it worked out great. Without further ado, let's get on to the replays. So here are the replays. We will start this bad boy off. And holy lag. So first turn I kept a 1-lander. Very, very risky. But I'm like, oh, look, I got action. I got an Elixir of Immortality that can stall. All I need to do is draw an Orb card. And I like this guy's decks. He went a Hexproof. I think he got 3 Glade Clovers. And just proceeded to get tons of enchantments. So I really liked his deck. Drew into the second land, got really lucky there. Now I can cast the Elixir of Mortality and actually use it. So I've got some play turn stalling. Now I'm 2 for 2 on land drops. Getting kind of lucky, I know. Elixir of Mortality comes out. I've got a total of 9 life to get me back in this game. So tons and tons of stall. And tax into the Glade Cover. So I like to be aggressive with my 1/1s because I've got so much waste to stall in this deck. I might as well get some damage off. And might as well throw out this Angelic Accord, and I just need 1 more. Decided to kill his ramp, and just need 1 more and do 4 damage to him with the Bubbling Cauldron. Need 1 more land, and I'm golden with the Trading Post. And I think I get stuck on that land for quite a while, but I can't complain because I went 2 for 2 with lands. Nope, I get it right there. That's right. So Trading Post comes out, and with the two artifacts, I'm going to gain a ton of card advantage here. That's what makes this card so good in the format. You actually have cards like the Vial of Poison, whatever it's called, that works well with Trading Post for card advantage. I'm down to 12, but again, like I said, I have 9. I have a total of like 13 life right off the bat. And now with the Congregate, I have 6 life there. It's 8 life now. Just plenty of ways. Now the cool thing about this is I can put Goats into play and then block and sack in response so he doesn't get life. And I'm up 3 life per turn with this combination. Trading Post Bubbling Cauldron is just crazy. And Doomblade is awful. I have no targets right now. Now Dark Favor on that dude. So now I'm going to have to only be able to block and sack once. So he's going to gain some life. I mean, like I said, a cool little combination. He's got Child of Knights that work great with Dark Favors and Mark of the Vampires and stuff. So now I can actually corrupt off that Child of Knight. So I 2 for 1 there, gain some life. Now I can't activate anything this turn. So he can attack in with his dude. I'll block the other one, take 6. He's up to a 28. I can't Doomblade that thing either, the Undead Minotaur. Draw another land, but lands are fine in this. I can start sacking these cards to get card advantage, but I'm still okay because I've got plenty of card advantage, or plenty of stall with the Congregate. Like I said, 5, 9, 13 total life that we could go for, and then I can just do I decide to sack it right there and then Doomblade. I'm just gonna get everything back with the Elixir of Mortality. Then we top deck into the Angelic Accord, which was awesome. So now we can Elixir of Mortality, and here comes the Angel Swarm. So each turn I can kill stuff. He can't attack in with this stuff because I can just block and sack. And now I've got ways to get back everything. I decided to tack in. That probably wasn't the best of move here. But I didn't want to discard cards to Trading Post quite yet. Maybe I should have right there because I wanted 8 lands so I can activate everything a million times. And anyway, so now I can start discarding stuff though and let the beatdowns begin. So I will do that, discard everything I draw from here on out because the 4 swamps, 4 plains is really, really good. Won't need any more lands than this. A Shade's not going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and sack this little... Oh, and I forgot this. Make sure, kids, here we go. Here's a good lesson. Make sure on your personal settings, on your Let's go here. Menu, settings. Where is it? Not display. Gameplay. It's under gameplay. Make sure that these are all checked, especially this main post-combat, because I kept missing triggers because every time it'd go to his main phase and I click OK, it wouldn't give me an option until the end step. And it's the beginning of the end step where the Angelic Accord checks. So I kept missing triggers here and not getting angel tokens. And then I figured it out. I'm like, why is it doing this? Well, am I just being stupid? Am I just F2ing too quickly? And then I figured it out. But again, I'm just discarding everything that I draw. And I've got this swarm of dudes, and he's got to he messes up and uses both his black mana here. He would have just traded though for an angel. At this point it's not that big of a deal because again I'm getting angels every stinking turn. This combo is so sick. It's stupid nuts. And yep, so again sacrifice creature, another one comes in, and 47 life. I congregate, 61 life, attacking with everything. He has a fog, so he's trying to delay it here the best he can, but no use delaying it because he is basically done here. The blood, Lethargy of Blood, we sack it, gain 4 life. So he can actually gain some life here, but it's not even going to give him a turn because he only gets to do... Oh yeah, I can still block it. It doesn't get to do any damage to me, but he goes up to 12. I gain life, and I've got this massive angel army. So let's go on to the next game. This is game number 2. Everything taped except for the wow, now it's not showing this. I hate stupid replays here. So here's my hand. I'm on the other side here. Dumb replays. Fix your software, MTGO. No, it's not even letting me. There we go. So there's my little hand here. Maybe that's too big, but whatever. I keep it. That's a great hand to keep. Got the Celestial Flares, which are just crazy versus his deck. Poor guy is going to start throwing stuff on his Glade Cover Scout. This guy just makes it so he's got to chuck a Troll Hide. Yep, I knew he had a ton of cards like this. So, yeah, I take 3 here, and I decide to, attacking with my Caspian Knight and hold back the Celestial Flare. I hope he puts on another card, and he does, another Dark Favor. I'm like, oh, poor dude. And I even say ouch here because I 3-for-1 him. And basically Celestial Flare is just the nuts to his deck. And get out my my Soul Mender, got the Bubbling Cauldron. So now I just have to draw into either one of my kill conditions with the Angelic Accord or the Sanguine Bond. So again, got the Shrivel now to any other sort of nonsense. But Shrivel kills my 2 dudes too, so I'm just waiting here. I need to find some sort of finisher, and can't Quack Sickness it, but I can kill any sort of enchantment he puts on the Glade Cover Scout. And now I've got this Sanguine Bond, and wow, oh wow. He says, "Wow, how the hell did you build this in draft?" Because I was gifted all these cards because you guys didn't want them. Funny people. So hunt the weak on my Soul Mender, but I get some life out of it. Do damage to him. He can attack him for 2. I'm just so far ahead here. Celestial Flare again, the second one, just nuts. We can pump it up once. He goes to an 11. We just have so many ways to actually deal with anything he puts out. Solemn Offering for an enchantment we need to get removed. And here we will Celestial Flare. I'm worried more about the Scout than a Singer Vampire that I can Quag Sickness, which I will end up doing. Here, I'll attack him first if he wants to block and let me first strike it off. But we'll just Quag Sickness, make it a 1-1. And now it's not a threat. And so 10 to 15, he's a few creatures away from just dying. I have so many other things in this deck that will just kill him here. There's Trading Post. Now it's just crazy. So he can block with the Vampire. I'll first strike it off. He's got to sack his other Vampire. Pretty good deck though. I mean, everything's either hexproof or has some sort of resilience in his deck. And he scoops it. Next match. This deck was kind of cool. And I mulliganed that hand. I don't know if you see it. It was all swamps and no white card and all white cards. So this one I decided to keep. Draw into the swamp to actually cast my Festering Newt. He ring flashes that. I'm so glad because I got the Tenacious Dead that he can't do anything about. And this is a white-black deck. And I kind of draw slow here. I get... you know, I have nothing that I can really do except stall. But I got the Diabolical Tutor to find one of my combo pieces, and the Fire Streaker is actually really good in his deck. He gets a lot of life. I think he puts a mark on the his one of his dudes coming up, and it just gets him so much life. But I get the Trading Post. I think that was the best card to get with the Diabolical Tutor. I think it's the strongest card, especially 4 mana. I definitely could have got like the Angelic Accord or the Sanguine Bond, but at this point I don't have any of the other combos. I draw the Elixir of Mortality, and now I'm salivating because it's perfect. So, and I decide not to play the Elixir of Mortality. I don't know why. Why didn't I not play it there? That was kind of stupid. Oh, because I want to put a Goat into play and just absorb the Fire Shrieker. That's right. So Charging Griffin comes out, and he equips it on the Charging Griffin. And now I've got a Swamp and Elixir of Immortality. And I decide that I want the nope, okay, I sack it to draw a card. I thought that maybe I wanted to get the Festering Newt or the Diabolic Tutor back, but nope. I do want card advantage, and I find a Bubbling Cauldron. So I'm going to take some damage here. But, I mean, I can gain life pretty easily with the Trading Post Bubbling Cauldron. Swamp comes into play. Maybe I should have discarded it there, but I decided to sack it to get an Elixir of Mortality. And I can get all these back if I want to, but I think I'm just going to use it for Trading Post to give me some card advantage. I have blockers, though. I decided to take 7 because I think these blockers are better for like a Congregate. Do find in the Quack Sickness, kills off the Charging Griffin, and I'm again able to sack it to bring an artifact back for the Bubbling Cauldron in case I want to cycle off this Elixir of Mortality to give me back these cards. And the Knight comes out. He decides not to attack into it. I think that he should have there because I wouldn't have blocked. Sacrifice an artifact, draw a card. Soul Mender can come out. Bubbling Cauldron can come out. I'm in great shape. I mean, this game goes on forever, though, because we both draw into so many lands, even with the amount of card advantage, and he can keep tapping down this Tenacious Dead. And I decide to sack the dude that's on the Knight because I've got 2 blockers here. Draw into another land, and I am a little bit low though, so I need to find an answer quick. So I can discard a Goat token, block the Goat token, sack the Goat token, so I'm up life every turn. And again, I just start drawing into land after land after land after land. So I'm returning cards to my hand as much as possible. So I want to keep the Bubbling Cauldron. Elixir of Mortality, of course, I could cycle it if I needed to. Or not cycle it, but crack it to put all these things back in my library to give me more options to draw into non-lands. Able to sack the... I'm just going up each turn in life. And here I draw into another land. I'm going to sack this Immortal Elixir of Mortality to draw a card. We find the Doomblade. That's awesome. So, again, we got an answer. He attacks in with everything. I'm going to let him pump everything here. And he does it after. He lets the first strike damage first and then decides to pump it in case I have some sort of removal. But either way, it's fine. I've got the Doomblade for it here. So he's testing the water, letting the first strike damage hit first, or he just messed up, one of the two. So I'm able to sack the Tenacious Dead, go back up to 20, and Congregate's okay. But, you know, once again, I'm going to bring back an Elixir of Immortality, the good old Trading Post lock here, to eventually, you know, you get like a half a card per turn. He gets a Corpse Hauler to get back his Charging Griffin. And he's able to cast it here and equip, not quite equip this turn, the Fire Shrieker. But again, I will sack this to gain some life. And equips it. It's fine. Another land. We'll sack to draw a card. We got a Bubbling Cauldron. We have the Congregate here. I mean, look at these lands. Look at both of us are just getting land flooded after land flooded after land flooded. So I can take damage all day long, though. It's just 6 damage per turn. Only puts me at 17. I net 3 up. And he Grim returns my Tenacious Dead. And I'm like, oh, come on. There goes my combo. But I top into a Corrupt and a Quack Sickness. And I leave the Corrupt for another card that I can't deal with. He Quack Sicknesses my dude, but I'll gain 4 life off of it. So I am going to take some damage here. I'm going to take 6. But again, I'm okay. I'm still at 18 life. I'll play the Soul Mender, sack it to get an Elixir of Mortality. And at this point, I think I am going to corrupt, and I'm just sick of drawing lands. I'm a little frustrated, so I'm like, that's it. I'm putting 12 cards back in my library so I don't draw into any more lands. And I get, because I have another artifact to sack here. But he's able to... Yeah, so I kill off everything here. I top into the other Quag Sickness, but he draws into Sarah Angel, and now that's 8 damage per turn, 9 damage per turn with the Tenacious that I've got to worry about. I decide to make sacrifice the Bubbling Cauldron. I find another Bubbling Cauldron. And there's a Diabolical Tutor that I'm very happy about because I can go get the Angelic Accord. Oh, I get Sanguine Bond. I don't know. I could have got the yeah, I definitely could have got the Angelic Accord here, but I go for Sanguine Bond to try to put him at a fast clock. But I'm able now to discard and... Oh, and it doesn't work that way because, again, I messed up on the stop there. I'm like, why didn't I get a token there? But I just did it at the beginning of the end step, which is not the way to go. But here I do it right. And I'll be getting an Angel token here. But he puts a Mark of the Vampire, so now he's going to gain 12 life per turn and do 12 to me. I top into a Corrupt, which is going to kill off his Sarah Angel. And look how long this game went on. And this gets me a token. I get attack in, he blocks, and he messes up here. He thinks that this will return it back to my control, but it doesn't, or his control. It turns it back to my control, so he messes up with the Tenacious Dead. And now I'm in great shape because I have everything I really need to lock him out here. A Cursed Spirit, don't care. I'll sacrifice it to make him lose some life, and I've got the combo here. It's Sanguine Bomb, Trading Post, Bubbling Cauldron. I mean, it crazy. There's the Celestial Flare. That's just overkill. Each turn I can just get back an artifact, throw out a Bubbling Cauldron. I can sack that twice now, and this game is a wrap. And boy, oh boy, did my opponent draw a ton of lands, too. He's got 4, 8, 12, 15. He's probably got 2 lands left in his deck, man. He was unlucky as well. So, again, I don't care about the Cursed Spirit. We'll worry about a bigger threat than a 6 damage per turn. But he's dead anyway because this is going to do 8 damage to him. And, oh, I don't get the token. Go back a couple turns. I don't even have an Angelic Cord out. What am I smoking here? Anyway, I'm just doing damage based upon the Sanguine Bond. Anyway, so going to the last match that got recorded. The other games kind of went this way. I got Angelic Accord on the finals versus my opponent out very quickly both games. So here we go. Here's another match. I kept this hand, a very risky hand, but I can definitely draw into another land. I got the Festering Newt, and I've got the Bubbling Cauldron, so this can at least, and the Tenacious Dead, so this can at least hold off for quite a while. He's got the Solemn Offering. I don't know if that's the right move. I'd wait for Trading Post, but I'd have to draw into the Trading Post since I have double Bubbling Cauldron. So I'll cast the other Bubbling Cauldron, and that'll give me a sack outlet for any 1/1 like a Knight if he plays a Capetian Knight. Still need this Celestial Flare. I don't know why he blocks here. Maybe thinking that he wants to make it so I don't make him lose 4 life, but I could care less about it. And he has the Ring Flesh here, I believe. No, he doesn't. I thought he kills the Tenacious Dead in this one. Drawn to that third land, which is fine. I'm able to Quag Sickness off and attack with the Tenacious Dead. And here's where he's got the Ring Flesh, which he's able to kill off my Tenacious Dead. And Corpse Hauler, he's looking good, but I just need to draw into another land, and I'm great. Like I said, I got Corrupt, Celestial Flare, plenty of answers. Fire Shrieker on his dude's going to be annoying, but I really don't care that much. Especially if I were to draw into a removal there, I would have been able to kill his Corpse Hauler without him being able to activate it to get card advantage. But I had the Solemn Offering to kill the Fire Shrieker, decided to go for it right now. And I actually misclicked. I'm trying to go quick because I have 7 minutes left. I misclicked and hit the Angelic Wall, not the Trading Post. So that's why I over-tapped there. But again, we got the Trading Post now, and he's going to go back and get his Charging Griffin. Nobody's Deathgrave's Cockatrice. He's going to cast it. At this point, though, I've got half a card per turn with the combo with the Bubbling Cauldron Trading Post, and I'm going to start this. Elixir of Mortality. And I don't worry about a Quack Sickness here because I've got a Celestial Flare, and he only attacks in with his Death Touch, and we'll make him sack it. And again, he's got a Nightmare, which now I can corrupt. I actually top into that corrupt, but I don't even need to. I can Quack Sickness it, and we can start drawing extra turns. There's a Diabolical Tutor. Now I can go get the combination. This time I opt to go get the Angelic Accord instead of the Sanguine Bond, as we have ways to get out double tokens per turn, or every turn, every turn. So on his end step and on my end step, we can do it. So throw out the Angelic Accord here, and then we can discard a card to gain 4 life, discard the Soul Emitter. This puts a 4/4 into play, and this is just crazy card advantage, because this turn we can just keep discarding cards, or we can sack a creature, return to Elixir Immortality. I thought, I'm sick of drawing lands again. Let's just Elixir Immortality. Corrupt here to kill his dude, put a 4/4, and he's just dead. There's absolutely nothing to do. So it locks him. He's able to Quack Sickness off one of the Angel. The other one's pacified. But we can gain 5 life here, shuffle everything in, and we can discard this on his upkeep here. So I can just discard my planes, put out another. This will get me another Flying Angel. So this combo is stupid good, and he's dead within a couple of turns. Anyway, that's the last match was a green-blue deck with like opportunities and just just like a time ebb opportunity, divination. It's a good old blue-green tempo deck. You see it in almost every draft format. Very, very good deck, and that was the finals. It would have been a good deck against anyone but me. I think that this deck was just the nuts. I don't know if it'd have a bad matchup. He even had a naturalize and naturalized my trading post, but I Elixir Immortality and found it again anyway. So, very good resilient deck. This is Kevin with Roguedeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.